One thing that I've noticed since becoming a parent is that people love to project their own fears and anxieties about what you expose your child to in terms of opportunity and new experiences. So here are 5 things that I consistently hear, specifically when I talk about bringing my daughter on a multi-country trip like Asia. Number 1, that sounds exhausting. I could never do that. What that translates to is that I couldn't handle that. So I'm going to project my threshold for what I can handle onto you. I'm going to just assume that you're going to be suffering. The fact of the matter is that joy and challenge can actually coexist. You can have moments where you flourish in a different country or on a beach. You have all these great memories, but you can also have moments where there's going to be tantrums. For me, it's always important to weigh out the pros and cons. In my opinion, my daughter being cultured and being out in the world, that is making her more worldly or more understanding of different cultures, different foods, different languages. So for me, the pros far outweigh the cons. Number 2. She's far too young. She'll never remember. What the projection actually says is you don't value memories or experiences. There's many things that we do in our life. We actually don't remember half of our life. But does that stop you from living? I also feel that when she's home, I expose her to a multitude of different activities and experiences that she's never going to remember. Does that mean that you don't put her in swimming classes because she'll never remember it? No, you still do those things because there's benefits to her engaging in those activities. Number 3. Aren't you scared that something's going to happen? What that actually means is I live in worst case scenarios and call it realism. That I live by fear and not by faith, and that I live through my fear and anxiety to control and decide what life experiences I have. I'm not raising my daughter to be a fear-based child and not think outside of the box and do what's familiar and within the constraints of what society or family or generations have told her is comfortable. I want her to think beyond what we've been raised to believe. I want her to grow to be a fearless, empowered girl that moves to the beat of her own rhythm. Number 4. That doesn't sound like much of a vacation. That sounds like you're still parenting. What this sounds like is if it's not relaxing and perfect, then it's pointless. Parenting has to happen no matter what. Whether I was home doing it or whether I was on vacation doing it with her, I still have to parent her. So why not be on the beach in Malaysia doing that? I also think that we really have to change our mentality. Not all travel is about relaxation and escape. Some travel is actually about growing and healing as a person and expanding our minds and our knowledge of the world. Number 5. It must be nice to have all the time and money in the world to be able to travel with her. What that actually sounds like to me is I feel stuck. So I need to make your freedom sound like privilege instead of choice and active effort. I get it. Traveling can be expensive with multiple children especially. However, with intentional planning, saving, making sure that you balance luxury with humbleness on your trips, you don't always have to stay in 5-star resorts. There's other ways and means of travel, and knowing how to plan really save you big time when it comes to traveling with your kids. I've been planning this trip since early last year. We have also cut significantly in the last 5 months on our expenses. For instance, baby girl usually does 2 to 3 activities every season. This season, I decided that she's not going to engage in anything in order for us to financially afford our trip to Asia. I also cut down on things that I really don't need, like buying clothing, going on excessive outing, attending every single birthday party of friends. With a proper budget and intentionality, you can make it work. You might have to plan a little bit further ahead, but you can definitely make it work. You just want to know my ways? Hello, you can just say that, sis. People often wrap up their fear and anxiety and try and say that's justified because they're concerned. Open up the horizons, your mentality, and be more educated beyond what the media shows you about what's out there in the world and how to travel safely.